This is question 5, the standard level paper, paper 1 from November 2017. It is a paper 1, so it is a non-calc. So first question, we've got our two functions, f and g, and I have to find g of f of x. So just remembering that this notation and this notation is exactly the same. So I'm taking my f of x, which is 1 plus e to the negative x, and I'm putting it in to g of x. So everywhere I see an x here, I'm going to replace it with 1 plus e to the negative x. So that's going to be 2 times this. So 2 times the value of x, which is all of this, and then plus b. And that is done. Okay, so you could leave it like that. For part B, it doesn't look very nice, but as long as you remember what these things mean, we want the limit as x goes to positive infinity of g of f of x, which is what we have just worked out. So what I'll do is I'll just expand this bracket. And I'm told that the limit of all of this is equal to negative 3, and I have to find out what the value of b is. So my first step is to kind of break this up a little. The good thing about limits, I can just split it up. So I can look at the limit as x goes to infinity for the first part, for 2, plus I'll look at the limit of this part, as x goes to infinity, and then I'll look at the limit of the last part. And all of this equals negative 3. Now, if I was to work out these limits, now the limit of 2 as x goes to infinity, is the 2 affected in any way by the x's? No. There's no, x doesn't have no influence on this 2. This 2 is going to stay the same regardless of the value of x. So this is just going to stay as a 2. Now this part, what happens as x gets really, really large? I've got 2 times e to the negative x. Now if you think about your graph of e to the x, your graph of e to the x comes down like this and gets closer and closer and closer to my x-axis. And as x increases and goes out towards infinity, this gets closer and closer to 0. So all of this is going to go towards 0. Okay? E to the negative x, as x goes to infinity, it gets closer to 0. And we are told that b is a constant, so b is just a number. So it's not going to be affected by the x's. It doesn't matter the value of x as x goes to infinity. This is always going to stay as b. So I've got 2 plus b equals negative 3. So subtract 2 from both sides, and I get b equals negative 5. All right, so any questions, just ask. This is one of those things that you need to kind of think, what does e to the negative x look like? If you're still not sure, you can take it, or you can think of it as 1 over e to the x. Okay? This is exactly the same. E to the negative x is the same as 1 over e to the x, and it doesn't matter if I got the 2 in here or not. Okay? 2 over e to the x. Now as x gets larger and larger and larger, what happens to the bottom number? Well, as x gets larger and larger and larger, e to the x gets larger. But then when I do 2 divided by a really large number, 2 divided by infinity, it means the whole thing will go to 0. So that's another way you could think about it. Any questions, just let me know.